Hello, good evening, retro fans. Hope you're all doing very well. Just try and pull my microphone in a little bit. Might help, mightn't it? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Retro Radio Show. It's Thursday, so that can only mean that. Hope you're doing well. It's chilly February evening. I'm Retro Faith, here with you until the wee hours with retro tunes, retro news, retro chat, and of course retro games. Coming up, we have our regular news section. We meet a collector and they show us some cool stuff. The usual chip tunes. We also be chatting to Redkeas. I hope I'm saying that right. I will find out in a little while. The artist behind IRENA, that brand new Mega Drive game that smashed its Kickstarter. And they'll be letting us all know about it. At the new Mega Drive shooter has been in development. And I'm going to be trying the demo. Some of you might have already tried that before. I also have a new Switch shmup to play later on once we're done with the radio show. You know I like a good shmup, so that's been released. I think it's released tomorrow, so I can give you a sneak preview on that one. And there's a proper stream tomorrow, just some news. We're going to be doing probably a Dreamcast stream tomorrow if I can be bothered to sort it all out. But before all that, to counter the Nintendo field news, because, you know, they've had a lot of stuff going on the last couple of days, to counter the Nintendo field show that we've got today, well, at least with the retro radio part. Good evening, people out there in Streamland. Let's paint the town blue. Let's paint the town blue to kick the show off with this classic from Sega legend composer Yuzo Koshiro. Sonic 8-bit, the classic one, and sometimes forgotten by those who are not of a blue persuasion. Some folks prefer the Master System version of Sonic. Of course, I love both of them. I'm not going to pick between the two, but they're both true classics. And, no, good to get some Sega Blue in there. Some fantastic stuff. Now then. Have you bought a new retro item for your collection? Have you some retro news to share? Maybe you just want to say hello. Contact at retrofaith.net. You can get in touch with me here, or Twitter or Facebook, all the usual things. I will try to get as much of it into the show as I can. Put your name on it though. Stupid laws and stuff. I have to be able to say this person gave me this information of his picture. Strange world we live in. Where's your hard hat kind of stuff. Remember to include your name, as I said. Also use those channel points that are down the bottom. If you're au fait with Twitch, you can play some fun sounds. Let me just give you a little quick example. I won't drive the point home too much, hopefully, and my computer just decides to go crazy. But yes, you can do things like this with your channel points. Shall not pass! And other fun things. If you're a subscriber, you get a full suite of sounds to play about with. And also, if you are a Amazon Prime person, you have Amazon Prime for your deliveries and for your music and stuff, you remember that you get a free Twitch subscription. So support a streamer. It doesn't have to be me, but just don't waste that every month. So every month you pay for Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription to any Twitch streamer. It's all included in your Prime package.
Is dead.
Make sure you
don't say that. Never say that. Goonies never say die.
Goonies never say die. There you are, Sam giving us a great example of what you can do there. So, swiftly moving on. If you're not getting on the horn, you can play the stream with all those sounds and bits and pieces and stickers and stuff. So have fun. The stream is supposed to be interactive. Get in touch or use the sounds. But moving on with the show, now that we've got all that housekeeping out of the way, our first news item is, this isn't new news, this is last week's news, but we didn't get a radio show last week because of things that happened or didn't happen. So we got some new games, Switch Online, some new retro games. So those of you that have a Switch and you subscribe to the annual, yearly or monthly thingamabobber, the Switch Online thing, you get games to play. Just going to quickly go through these. I'm not going to spend any time really on them. I did try to have a go on some of them earlier, but I was running a little bit out of time. So I don't know if any of them are any good. The only one I know, just by looking at the names, is Fire and Ice. Because that's like, you know, that's quite a classic 8-bit NES game. But we got a few on the SNES and one on the NES. So on the SNES here, Doomsday Warrior. I'd never even heard of it. This action game was released for the Super NES in '93 and features an evil sorcerer who has recruited 7 warriors to take over the Earth. Dun dun dun. But one of the Doom Squad has resisted the influence and now stands against the rest of the Doomsday Warriors. So I'm assuming that the Doomsday Warriors are the bosses in the game. But I'm going to give it a go. It looks a bit like Ninja Gaiden Shinobi type of thing, just as like a general ninja-y type platforming sort of game. So single player mode, victory lets you assign bonus points to different stats and upgrade your warrior. And then there's a versus mode apparently. So I don't know if that works kind of like a Street Fighter or something, but we don't know. But we'll give that a go. So get that on your Switch. It's available now. I think they appeared yesterday or the day before. Psycho Dream, another one on the SNES here. This action game was originally released only for the Super Famicom, so it's a Japanese exclusive apparently. So the game's never been translated into English. When Sayaka doesn't return to reality after entering an immersive virtual world known as a D-movie, I'm not sure if that's like, you know, some sort of like Godzilla, but even like poorer acting or something, like rather than wearing like men wearing rubber suits, maybe it's just like men with like cardboard boxes wrapped around them with like Godzilla written on them or something. Not too sure. The protagonists, Rio and Maria, must progress through a terrifying fantasy game called Legend of the Fallen Capital. Sounds very Japanese to me, and you got to rescue the person and bring them back to the reality. So it's like Lawnmower Man meets Japanese stuff. Sounds pretty good. Also on the SNES, Prehistoric Man. Now, I thought when I heard the name, I knew this game. But when I had a little quick look, I realised I didn't know what it was. It's a 1996, so quite late in the life cycle of the SNES. And our hero, Sam, lives in a village whose food is stolen by dinosaurs. Is it like Joe and Mac or something? Who knows? In order to get more, Sam has to collect bones, which he can then use to buy food. On his way, you'll need to make use of all sort of action elements. So it sounds like a platformer type, you know, that sort of thing. Look, the graphics look pretty good on it. I'm going to give it a go. As I say, these are all available on your Switch right now. And then the only NES game in the update, the only NES game is Fire and Ice. As Dana or Dana, depending on where we're from, you have been chosen by the Queen of the Winter Fairies to bear the power of magic ice. or ice magic. With it, you must defend your home. Cool Mint Island. That does sound pretty cool. From the wicked wizard, Drildil and his flames. So hence the fire and ice. It's like fire. It should have been called like fire versus ice, maybe. That might have been like better. I'd imagine, yeah, it is the same as the Amiga one. I think it is anyway. I think it's very similar. Yeah, I think it is the same as the Amiga one there, Duncan. Yeah, but you get the idea. It's like an adventure game where you have fire and ice as magic. So that's the news there on that. Now we got more Nintendo news. Oh my god, it's just like a Nintendo fest this week. Like I feel a bit dirty. You know, I feel like a bit like, oh my god, like, you know, what's going on? But it's okay. It's okay. We'll get through it. Swiftly moving on then with news. So this is cool news though, because this is like proper retro cool news. So there was a new Game Boy game, called Dragon Ball, which came out I want to say January, I think. I should have asked Chris. Chris Beard is the guy that's done it. He's all over Facebook and all that. And it looks fantastic. There you can see it there. But not only has it been released for you to buy on a cart, which I do believe is now sold out. So it might be hard, unless they do a second print run, you probably won't get the cart now. But don't fear, it's now on Steam. It was released last week, I think last Friday. It was released on stream. Yes, it was. It was last Friday. Now I'm looking at my notes here. So, Dragonborn was launched on Steam last week after a successful Game Boy cart release. Since we've just been discussing a retro-style action-adventure with around 10 hours of gameplay, puzzles, dungeons, multiple enemies, various weapon and armor upgrades, character zapping system, ranking system depending on how you finish the game, various collectibles, mini quests, multiple endings, and apparently much more. How much more can you get than that? That's like 3 lines on my notes of stuff in the game. But it looks fantastic. It looks fantastic. And you know what? We've got top reviewer, Chris Macaulay, friend of the show. You all know Chris Macaulay. You know, Mr. Stoker, Mr. Bram Stoker, does the comics, does the Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who. You know that guy, Mr. Geek. You all know him. We love him. We love him when he comes on the show. But Chris Macaulay is going to do a review for the Retro Faith website of the Steam and of the Game Boy version. How cool is that? So look forward to that coming soon. He's playing it now and he's already said it's right up his street. It's his kind of game. And it looks fantastic. I mean, I love that dragon. If we wait for the pictures to clip round again. I love that Golden Axe looking dragon. You know when you do the magic on Golden Axe and the dragon comes down when you throw the magic up, like the bottles, and the dragon comes in and goes, it makes that really strange sound. Not like that, but you know what I mean. It looks just like that. So really cool. So I can't wait for the review because I had to give the copy I had given to review. I gave it to Chris. So I don't know. I got to wait for the review too, guys. But that looks brilliant. So check that out. Go on Steam. Support our local developers. Support them. Go and buy their games and stuff. Yeah, the man, the legend himself, Chris Macaulay. So you got that coming out. New Game Boy game reaches Steam. That's pretty cool. The last one I know like that actually was a game that was made in BASIC called, I think it was called Super P or something like that, or P something, Uber P, Super P, but it was made on Game Boys. Like it didn't get a Game Boy release from what I know. It was released on Steam and Switch and things like that. Awesome P. It's called Awesome P. And there's 2 of them. And the lady that developed them is wonderful. And I remember speaking to her and she said that she might try and get it on I think she made a Game Boy cart herself to play it on. But yeah, it's nice to see Game Boy games. We had Super Jetpack DX from the awesome Asobi Kwang. Any followers of the show will remember from a few weeks ago. So this is another one. Track it down. Hopefully there's a second release like there was with Super Pack GX, and then we can get a copy of a real copy of it. But lovely to see. Swiftly moving on, and just before we move on, we have our first guest. Now, our first guest is someone who, again, is a friend of the show. Where are you, my friend? It is our good friend Sam. Let's get him on the blower. Look, magic of technology, not retro technology, magic technology. Let's get him on this. Let's get him on here. See if he's here. Ongoing cool. Sam, are you there? Sam, are you there?
Hey.
How you doing, buddy?
Good, mate.
Good. Right, we've got Sam. Sam, do you want to just turn your microphone up a little bit, please? Just to make sure that it's at a nice level. So this is Sam Gittings. You all know my friend Sam from playing Phantasy Star Online. He's in the guild, the Phantasy Star Online guild. Now, because I don't know anything about Nintendo, and I kind of refuse to engage with it. No, I'm only messing. Obviously, last night there was a big Nintendo press release, a big hoo-ha, which is on for about an hour. Boo. And so Sam is going to take us through the more retro stuff from taking us out of that. But obviously we'll talk about everything. We're not just going to we can sometimes, we're allowed to slip into modern if we want to. It's my show, we can do that. So Sam, just before we get into the rigmarole of the details of what was released or press released by Nintendo last night, what was your overall feeling? I take it you went back and watched the show today after Phantasy Star last night. What was your overall feeling, mate?
Yeah, I went back over a few of the announcement videos, and it was a reasonably good showing. But I think with all Nintendo Directs, there's the inevitable, hype before it all starts, and then unrealistic expectations, and then after it all, usually disappointment. But there were a few interesting items revealed on the Direct.
Brilliant. This is your section then, because I did obviously read up on it and I watched it myself. But what was your takeaways then in the retro sense? What was the things that stuck out for you?
Well, just to highlight a few games. Obviously, the main one would be Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very welcome remaster of a Zelda game, which arrived towards the end of the Wii's life cycle. So it was a very well-made entry in the series for its time. Motion-controlled sword and shield mechanics were quite impressive, even though they were far from perfect, partly due to the technology. But having the choice to use either the Joy-Cons for motion control or a Pro Controller for more conventional controls this time around, that's an excellent selling point.
Oh,
and
awesome.
Of course, you got the HD visuals for the game, so they'll bring out the best parts of the art style, even if the flaws were being magnified as well. I mean, overall, the gameplay in this entry was quite solid.
Okay,
it makes it worth checking out, even though it's lacking in some places, such as the overworld.
Yeah,
it's all about the dungeons and the mechanics. But that's coming out July 16th, 2021.
What's been the general consensus from the Nintendo fan base about that one coming out, do you think?
General consensus is, I think everyone who wanted a HD remake of it is reasonably pleased with it. I think a lot of people are probably like, kind of been there, done that, played it on the Wii. I wouldn't want to go back to it. But I think, those that wanted the remake, definitely pleased that it's been announced. I mean, I reckon it's one that needed to be done, I think, for the Switch. Especially with the timing and everything. Obviously, you haven't got the next Zelda game for a while, so it's a good stopgap, and obviously a decent re-release. So I reckon it'll do pretty well.
Awesome. What was there any other games or anything? I think it was a Legend of Mana or something, or Secret of Mana remake.
Yeah, Legend of Mana. Obviously, that's the beloved JRPG classic from Square Enix. So it's now coming to Europe with fully remastered HD graphics, rearranged music, and additional features. And I get to experience the timeless story of Legend of Mana when it launches on June 24th.
Yeah, so a lot of mid-year releases going here. What else was what else stuck out for you during the Nintendo Direct stream?
I think the new Mario Golf game, Mario Golf's Super Rush, looks like it could potentially be a lot of fun. Seems like the developers have tried to take elements from both Wii Sports Golf and Mario Golf, making for an interesting mix, especially when it comes to the visuals, which could do with a bit more charm, though the characters should balance things out. But it's the additional elements, such as the story mode, where you can create a character based on your Mii. That should be quite well received, especially as fans of the portable games, which also had an RPG mode. Have been asking for something like this to be included for a long time. And then you got the speed golf. That's easily the highlight. Allowing you to play a faster-paced version of golf instead of having lots of waiting around, especially with the addition of power-ups. I can see that proven to be very popular. And that's out on June 25th.
Oh, again, another mid-year release. Okay. Is there anything else briefly that you need to catch us up on what happened with the Nintendo Direct, or was there anything else that stuck out just briefly?
Well, with the retro slant on things, obviously there's a good bit of Capcom representation. Actually, you got Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection, so that's looking to be an interesting new entry in the series. And you've also got Capcom Arcade Stadium, which I think has come out on other platforms, but it's good to see it on the Switch. And there's also a bit of a tie-in there, where I think you download it for free, and then there's something going on with if you can get Ghosts and Goblins, they'll be bringing out the original just before the new game comes out. So that's quite good. The other notable one, which I guess could be classed as retro, is Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. So that's
I like the look of that.
All three of the more recent Ninja Gaiden games. Obviously, they came out quite a while. Just a brief summary, I would say, having played most of them, I'd say the first game is excellent. Well balanced, challenging, rewarding. Second game, solid. Adds a lot of new weapons, more enemies. Challenging and a bit over the top. And then by the third game, kind of loses direction a bit. Still mechanically solid, a bit unbalanced. Lacks coherence, but still playable. So I think as a overall package, that's quite a nice release. Right. As long as they keep it, I don't know, below the £30 mark, could do quite well.
Sure. Right, I've got to move on, Sam, because we've obviously got our main interview as well. Right, and it's a good job we got you here, because you're doing our... I'm not going to call it Collector Corner, because that's obviously from Retro Game Magazine, but that idea where a collector comes on and shows us some of their wares. And because Sam's here, it will be rude not to ask Sam to show some bits. So buddy, I've got all your bits here. What's this? Are you looking at the stream, yeah? You can talk us through what this is. What on earth are these things?
Right, well this is Nintendo console keyring collection made by band Presto. It was mostly in Japan, but I think they came out around 2005, and they brought out a whole set of them. So obviously you've got the Famicom there and the disc system. They come as two separate things, but you can put them on, just as they would be if you had the consoles. And then you got the Super Famicom and the GameCube. They did make an N64 as well.
Nobody wants that, though, do they?
Never managed to get hold of that back in the day.
I'm only joking. Right.
Yeah, it's a nice little set, though. It's just the level of detail. I thought at the time they were quite reasonably priced. So, and there's
very good.
Sealed copy of Freedom Planet there.
Yeah, I mean this is like a really good kind of Sonic homage, isn't it? And yeah, that's amazing. I've got to get this at some point. This big box set. The thing is, I will just tear it open though. I know I would. But no, that's awesome. So what?
It's a great game.
Why have you picked Freedom Planet then? Just briefly, because I'm running a bit behind. Just briefly, what is it about this game then that made you want to put it in your collector's choice today?
Well, it's just a nice, obviously it was originally going to be a Sonic game by developers, and then they kind of went their own way with it. And I think it's nice that they put in the option of having the whole game, with a story, or you can just opt to play it, the good old fashioned way, with no real story or anything, and you just go straight through it, playing for all the best high scores and the best times.
Right. We know this one, Phantasy Star Online, pack with the broadband adapter. Oh, very nice.
I like the artwork on that one.
I do too.
Even though the European box is very nice, but it's the fact that you've got all the characters there, laid out with the, in was it the hexagonal pattern in the background.
Yeah.
You've got all the character classes there. It's just a really nice.
And we got a,
really nice
a picture of the
set.
back of the box as well there. Very, very good. Right, I have to rush you through because I need to get onto my interview. I know hopefully someone's waiting in the wings. Puyo Pop. When I saw it, I'm like, yes, Puyo. Why did you pick this one on Neo Geo Pocket?
But it's a bit more unusual more than anything, because obviously you got Puyo Pop on other platforms, but Puyo Pop on the Neo Geo is a very solid port of the original game, and it's just the artwork as well. It's very much like the Neo Geo box art. I don't really have that many Neo Geo games now, but it's just one nice example.
Very good. Right, I'm sorry to rush you because I'd love to sit here and talk about these things because they're amazing. This picture blew my head off because it's got Sonic and Knuckles in it. You did this on purpose, didn't you? Right, so I recognise the keyring. I recognise the keyring and the pin badge. What's the other things on this picture?
Well, you've got at the front, obviously, you've got the Panzer Dragoon Auto badge, Sega logo badge, Sonic and Knuckles badge. But right at the back left, you got the Sonic Sega World figure keychain.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
And that's from 1996.
Right.
That one. I managed to get that back in, was it 2015?
It's lovely.
So a few years ago now. And,
it's beautiful.
It's the same time as the Sonic and Knuckles keyring, but they're just really, really nice examples.
Oh, it's beautiful. Right, I'm sorry. I've got to rush. Let's turn that one. There we are. And now with this is obviously Panzer Dragoon statue. What's the story behind this then?
Well, I believe when the original Panzer Dragoon Auto was when development was finished on the game, I believe all the members of staff at Smilebit got one of those statues to commemorate it being finished. I'm not quite sure how many of them there were. I'd heard about it, in years before, but never actually seen one. And
it's lovely.
Again, around about 2015, one came up, and I decided, well, I've got at least put a few bids in on it.
Oh yeah.
And ended up winning it, and it's just a really, really nice example. But I think it's got that kind of like rough handmade quality to it. I just like all the all the detail on the on the wings. And you got the obviously Auto on the back of the dragon. And, and on the bottom of it, I think it says it's got a little inscription on there, dating it and everything. But,
beautiful.
I've never seen it again. It's just
do you know what? I've never seen that. I've seen the other bits before. I've never seen this thing. But anyway, Sam, lovely to speak to you, my friend. I'm sure, I'm sure you'll be hanging around a little bit later. We've got a new shmup to see, 2 new shmups to see tonight as well, which is awesome. So, thank you very much, Sam. Always a pleasure to have friends of the show on. But I must crack on, my friend. I'll catch you later.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, buddy. See you later, mate. All right, bye. Collector Corner there with Sam. How cool is that? I know everyone's probably chomping at the bit to see our guest, our interviewee for tonight. So I'm running a little bit behind. So hopefully everyone can just hold on. One more little thing to do. Now, this day in gaming, it's a little way that I round out the newsy feature section. So release day 1994 was Cool Spot in Japan. Yes, 1994. I mean, the original game came out in early 93 because I remember it. There's the Mega Drive box there. So it's quite a late release. It's about 10 months later, which I suppose wasn't uncommon back in the 90s. Now, interesting about this game, it's now fairly expensive, like not massively expensive, but fairly expensive game. And it's a challenging title with some great visuals, some excellent music, and we'll hear a little bit of that in a moment. It was licensed by Pepsi. And at the time, then sort of new 7-Up branding, if anyone remembers. But here's the interesting, quirky facts about it. They took out the 7-Up branding in the European version because they didn't want to confuse people with the European mascot for 7-Up, which was Fido Dido. And if anyone if anyone wants proper in-depth game knowledge and show how much research we put into this show, there's obviously a Fido Dido game on the Mega Drive as well. So, wow, full circle, which was also released worldwide. So that was brilliant. Now, I picked one of my favourites, because I love this game. I'm a big fan of, well, everyone knows I'm a big fan of 90s platformers anyway. So I picked my favourite track from that, and it's by industry veteran, Tommy Tallarico. So one of those things, the Amiga version, though, the music was done by someone different. So I'm being oh God, I can imagine the up to jump on the Amiga. So very specifically, the music for the Mega Drive one was Tommy Tallarico, who's obviously like a big name there, and he did an outstanding job. So I'm going to play that while I get my interview ready, and we've got the lovely Redkeas, I hope I'm saying that right, and we will find out soon if I am, to chat about all things IRENA. Stay tuned, enjoy the music, and we'll be back in a moment or two. Hello, people. Now then, how do I get the Zoom thing working? There we go. Zoom. Are we there? No, we're not there, are we? That'll just be too easy. Why isn't that working all of a sudden? Zoom meeting. Yes. Hello, guys. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second here. The usual. We're having technical difficulties, of course. There we are. There we go. Oh, and someone's decided to follow. Yeah, hello. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Hello. Is it Redkeas or Red? How do I pronounce that? Sorry.
Well, you can pronounce it Redkeas, actually.
Oh, Redkeas. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. So, well, thanks for joining us. So, For anyone that doesn't know, Redkeas is the artist on IRENA, which is a brand new Mega Drive game which has just finished its Kickstarter, and it done very, very successfully, which is always great to see, because who doesn't want new Mega Drive games? But we've got the demo here. So how this normally works, Redkeas, is I play the game while talking to you and probably do a rubbish job at it, and everyone can laugh at me. But it's all about you. It's not about me playing the game poorly. So just before I start playing the game, did you want to give the people watching just a little bit of a history about how you got into the game? How did you end up working on a new Mega Drive game?
Well, end up working with this great team of White Ninja, actually, because of Instagram. So I've got an Instagram page, and I post some of my drawings, like many of any artist, actually. And Kento-sama, who is the guy, is a developer, the programmer, and the director actually of the project, he just reached out of me, maybe because of my hashtag, I think, and he really loved my drawings. So we start talking. I said that I was a freelancer, an artist freelancer, and we start speaking about the project, and I really like the idea of something that it was retro, but this is new for this era, and we just start like that. And I start at the beginning of the project. We were only 3 at the moment, so it was 2 years ago, and that's it. So it starts like that.
All right, no problem. So are you obviously you're a retro gamer yourself, I take it, or is this just something completely new that you just wanted to get involved in?
No, actually, I love retro gaming. I'm more a Nintendo player than Sega. I know my team is. I'm not a bad person, but
I'm not a bad person.
I'm not a bad person.
I love the way Nintendo fans
player.
have to justify themselves. I love Nintendo, but I'm not a bad person.
I'm not bad, trust me. Actually, I grew up more with Nintendo because it was my first console, so that's why.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's okay. I'm only teasing because we keep the 16-bit wars alive on this show. We live in the past. Brilliant. So you've been approached by the team at White Ninja. You've come on board. What is your role on the project? What exactly is it that you've been tasked to do?
Well, actually, I'm really do all the art things. We have a pixel artist, Oko, who is doing all the GFX and all the pixel art in the game. And actually, I'm doing the concept. So sometimes I will draw a character, or I will draw something, and he will take that drawing and transfer and do it in pixel art. Sometimes he begin the pixel art, and I will draw over this. We have a great relationship with the pixel artist when we are doing both. After that, actually, I'm doing all the art, so the cover art, the merchandising, all the illustration for social media also.
Oh, okay, so you're like...
So this is very large. This is what I like because I'm pretty free. I'm free. They just give me that they need an illustration for the Kickstarter, for example, and I will say, okay, I will do something. I will do something maybe sexy, maybe with the character, maybe with a spaceship, and I'm really free to imagine the universe actually.
Wow, I mean, I knew, obviously heard about this game, but a couple of years ago when it was sort of first announced, and then the Kickstarter. I purposely didn't get the demo initially, because the reason being I knew I'd want to talk to you guys about it, because I love having devs come on the show and chat to us about it. So this is my first time playing it, so and hopefully I can do it justice just for you. Just before we go, I just wanted to chat a bit about this game. So, as the Kickstarter, has it finished now, or is there still a couple of days to go?
No, actually, it's finished.
It has actually finished, right? Okay. See, look, all the research I do, you know. Right. Okay, but it done really well, didn't it? It was it almost double, wasn't it?
Yeah, actually, is going very, very well. We've been found in 6 days, so
Oh wow.
we are greatly surprised by that. And actually, yes, we finished at the double.
That's amazing. Well, I'm going to give it a quick go while I continue talking to you. Obviously, I'm going to try and keep it more about the art and things like that, the graphics, because obviously that's kind of where you come in, rather than if it was like, say, the programmer here, I'd probably try and be a bit more techie and show off that I know about things that I don't really know about. But let's give it a go then. So, right. For some reason my controller's going absolutely haywire. Right, okay, so this is Genesis Metal Fury IRENA. So there's difficulties and everything. Oh, I love the font. Is that something you've chosen yourself? That looks so retro.
Yes, we really wanted to make something retro, and you can tell by the sound. Actually, I really love the music we put in that from Space Castle, who is a sound designer.
That's
He
right.
he wanted to put a little bit something, metal. Like I love metal music, and he wanted
Ah,
to
see,
put something that smash.
just because you're a Nintendo fan, we can connect on music. I'm a huge metal fan as well, so you know,
Yeah.
it's bygones is bygones now. Right, let's make a start. So I'm loving all this so far. I'm loving this. This looks like a Mega Drive game to me. Obviously, it is a Mega Drive game. That's a silly thing to say. Right, so fire is that. And I'm going to assume we've got some bombs and stuff. And I died already. So tell me about what... I'm going to try and... I'm not going to guess. What was your inspirations then for, doing the artwork and the pixel art and all this lovely stuff we're seeing right now? Lovely enemies.
Well, actually, for all the pixel art and the universe, Oko, the pixel artist, already drew some art. So
Right.
I've got already some ideas 2 years ago, but most of my inspiration come from Japanese anime and manga.
Oh,
This is mostly most of my inspiration for the game, and actually because I love the anime art style at this time in the 80s. I think it's not kitsch, they have this looking that is not really stylized, but
yeah.
most semi-realistic than today's in anime. So this is mostly my inspiration with sci-fi anime and manga that I can find in Pinterest.
Oh, I love that. I'm loving this. I'm sorry. I know I'm probably talking to you, but I'm just absolutely hooked on this. I'm
No.
loving this. I'm loving the design. So, how's so far? So, obviously, with any Kickstarter, you're kind of at the mercy of people that are like giving you money. What's the feedback been like so far to how everything's going on the project?
Well, we have on our Twitter page and Kickstarter page, we have many feedback about how the game is going. Most of people really love the aesthetic, the music, and how the form of the game in general is doing that. They have some kind of nostalgia. This is what we wanted to feel for people. And we have also feedback about the gameplay. This is why we changed our demo and the way we are playing, because we have many feedback saying that the game is too hard. Actually,
Too
people are
hard?
not used to
Okay.
it. Yeah, people are saying
It's
that
supposed to be hard.
too
It's an old shooter. If it's not hard, what's the point of playing it? So yeah, go on.
I think this is mostly younger people, even if I'm young too, but younger people that don't have, the culture of dying and play again, I think this is because people are not used to it, so we have to change something. But we don't want to make a casual game.
No.
This is not. I will not say that this is not a game for everyone. This is a game for everyone who want to have fun, actually. But we play with the nostalgia, and we play how before we were playing video games.
Well, I'm really enjoying it. I mean, you've got shields here. There's a lot going on here. Is there anything since the initial feedback of the demo? Is there anything drastic about the gameplay that's going to change or anything, or is it just the difficulty? Is it just that, or anything about the style or anything? Is anything new happening
Yes,
there?
we actually made some drastic change on the visual because for the first demo that was out in January, some people said that the graphics was kind of boring because it was just space with stars and asteroid, and people say that it was mostly boring since the gameplay was very nervous and we have very great music.
Yeah.
So we 2 weeks before, 2 weeks before, or maybe after, yes, 2 weeks after, we made a graphics change. So you're playing this version. We made something more colorful, and actually for the rest of the game, we changed a lot of things that is in under development. Actually, we made something more colorful.
Yeah. I like it. So when was this demo? Has this demo then gone out to the public now for them to have a look at, or is this what's been going on very recently?
It's going on very recently, but we update our demo. So we made so many updates, and this after we made the update and the change, people will be able to play with it, because this is very important for us to make some updates and the change on the game to show the people that the money was worth, and we are working on it, that this is not a scam. Actually, we are really sensitive about that.
Yeah,
And
it's definitely not a scam. I'm obviously just playing it for a couple of minutes here, and it seems like a really, what I would call a competent Mega Drive shooter. I love it. I think it's great. So is this so who's actually seen this then? Is this this version here that we've got today hasn't been released to the public yet? Is that
not yet. Yes, it's very recent. Not yet.
Oh, so we got an exclusive.
Actually, yes, and I haven't played to this version. Actually, I haven't played this.
You haven't played it? You're bloody working on the game!
Yeah, actually, I play all the builds, but I'm so bad. I'm so bad at the game. That's really... I know the game by heart because I saw where are the things, where are the points, where are the life, but I'm bad because I don't have a controller to play on my computer. So
you need to get like a keyboard. But it's hard.
Yes, I need to buy a controller actually, because playing with my keyboard is worse.
Yeah, I've got this Xbox one here. It's pretty good. Look, I'm doing very poorly at this as well, which I'm glad at, because I always find if I get too far in a shoot 'em up straight away, I'm probably going to be disappointed, because it's probably, this is hard, which is great, and I've already lost all my lives again. No, this is absolutely fantastic. So you've heard it here first, then. So this is almost like an exclusive tonight. Wow, I'm gonna have to.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't realise that. I feel like I'm under pressure now. No, this is absolutely brilliant. So anyone, has anyone in the chat backed it? Did they? I know there's not too many people here this evening, but hopefully there's a couple of people that get to see it and go, "Ooh, can't wait to get my hands on." So is this demo going to be released like next week or something, or is it just a few more tweaks?
I think so. We will. You have to keep an up on Twitter.
Keep an update on it.
We'll still put some updates for the demo. And actually, this is really great for us because we can have feedbacks, and we work mostly with feedbacks.
Yeah, of course, yeah. At the end of the day, that I suppose that's the best way of doing it, isn't it? When it's a Kickstarter, because you can then make it exactly what the people that are kind of backing it want, can't you? Rather than them being disappointed. Because I'm a massive shmup fan, and I always try to back them where I can, etc. And there's been a few times when I'm like, this isn't kind of what you promised or what you said it was going to be. But this one seems like you're doing it the better way, which is putting something out there and then saying, right, how can we improve it as we go? Which I think is a much better way of doing a Kickstarter, rather than sort of going, we'll just do what we want and then hope that people like it. So kudos to you guys. Look, I'm being awful at this. Look, I'm going to have to practice this.
Thank you.
I suppose as well, just more like now we've got kind of all that out on a personal level. Have you worked on any games before? Is this your first game, or?
Oh, actually, this is my first game. Before I was just doing some freelance work as an illustrator, but this is actually my very first game. and I'm very excited about it.
How does that feel then? So like as a retro fan, so you're there, you got your fond memories of your NES and your SNES and all that other Nintendo stuff that we shall not speak about. How does it feel then to know that you're now working on a game that's going to be on a shelf? Well, not necessarily on a shelf, but you know, an actual game that you can hold, put into a machine and play. How does that feel?
Well, actually, it was the first time I saw the game, the box, and and all of that, the physics things. I was like, oh my gosh, I grew up with this. I'm 25 now, and I'm doing the same thing that people doing 20 years ago, and I feel excited. Like really, the nostalgia, the really, it was really great. So well, when I will receive the box, because I didn't receive the box yet. Well, I will receive the box with my art, with the real game, with the manual.
Wow.
It will be something. Maybe I will cry. I don't know. I'm very sensitive, you know. I'm
I
a
think you'd have
crybaby.
every right to cry. Look, I've chickened out and I've put it on easy mode to see how much further I can get. Because I want to see. I think the developer said there's like 3 levels or something on this demo, so that's good. So I'm gonna try and get further this time. I haven't even got past the first level yet, and I like that. So what? Do you think then, is this going to be a one-off? Are you going to go back to doing just like boring office work, or are you now thinking that's it? I want to make games now. You know, where does this go for you, Redkeas?
Well, for me, actually, I always wanted to make games. I know that this is my destiny. I don't want to work with big company actually. I don't want, you know, to work with Ubisoft, Bethesda, and all the big companies. I don't love this. I really love just working with a small team where when you can trust and talk to people, even if it's in remote, because we are all working in remote actually. And
Yeah.
I want to go and still work at the video game industry, but to do small things that I really love.
Yeah, of course. Like, is there like I get what you're saying. You don't want to go and work for one of the big people because that could be a bit soulless. Maybe. What would be your dream job then? If you could pick any job to do. Obviously, you're working on this hard at the moment, so this is the job. But what? Sort of almost like where do you see yourself in the future? Like what would you like to be doing?
Well, I would like to be doing maybe the same. So I will be a freelance artist, character artist in 2D and 3D. I'm actually learning 3D.
You're
This
looking at
is
3D as well.
Yeah, I'm looking for 3D, and in a couple of years, this is where I want to still work at my place, at my desk, with clients, with a little company, and with small project that I will love, but I'm at full time.
Wow. Yeah. I think that's lovely, and I think just hearing that someone's got that kind of passion and they're following through on their dreams is amazing. Because obviously this interview isn't about me, but I can really relate to that, because I did the same. I was doing a boring job in a finance company 2 years ago, and now I'm a games journalist, and it's like following your dreams. I've always wanted to, when I was a kid, I always wanted to write for games magazines, and not quite writing for a magazine yet, but I'm getting there, and it feels nice, doesn't it, when you kind of you're doing something that you almost like doesn't seem real. You have to pinch yourself sometimes in the morning when you wake up and go,
Yes.
look at your to-do list. It's like, make character art for IRENA and stuff, and you're like, wow, 6 months ago I was just looking at spreadsheets and being bored and daydreaming of stuff. So good for you is what I would say. I think that's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to be a bit cheeky now. Like, have you and the team any thoughts about possibly doing a sequel to this? Because this is a solid game. I mean, I'm hopefully will get to review it when it comes out. I'm sure you guys can sort me out a ROM for that, and we'll get a review. But I'm thinking already, like, this looks like it's going to be a big success. It's already smashed its Kickstarter. Has the team started thinking about what do you do next?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Oh, I don't know if I can talk about this actually, because we are a small team of 5 people, and when we are speaking about this, we are very, private. But we are actually speak about what we will doing next. Not for the type of the game, but the fact that we want to work together.
Oh, that's like, oh yeah, okay. So yeah, so it's less about the fact that you've got an idea for a game and more the fact that you know you're a good team and you want to continue. Oh, I like that.
Yes.
Oh, I like that a lot.
We want to still work if we have the chance to still work together. I said that I was the first one actually to say that I wanted to still continue with this guy. But for the ID, we don't have an ID. We just say that for now, and maybe the ID will come at the end. I think the ID will come at the end of the projection of IRENA.
Oh, how exciting! That's
But we will
amazing.
tell you guys if the team will continue and what we will do next. But our passion is about retro, so we will still do retro
Yeah,
actually.
make more of these because this, anyone, you know, all the people that watch my show regularly know, you know, I've recently made a documentary about indie shmups for the Dreamcast. So when I do my indie shmup documentary for the Mega Drive, this will obviously be in that. So that's excellent. I absolutely brilliant. I had one more question. I don't want to. I appreciate that. It's getting quite late. I don't want to keep you all day. I know you're probably very, very busy getting this game ready for us all. I had one more question. I think, like, you know, if I suppose I've kind of already asked about what your dream job would be, but I suppose it's kind of like, you know, if you could work with someone in the industry, or, you know, maybe a particular person or a particular team, who would it be?
Gosh, hot question.
Who's your hero?
Let me think. I don't have the name, but
It's all right. Don't have to over. It's like, it doesn't matter.
when I was a kid, and I remember when I was a kid, and the day I say that I wanted to work in video game, when I was a kid, I wanted to work with the creator of Pokemon actually.
Okay,
When I
yeah,
was a kid.
I've
Actually,
forgotten his name now as well. Yeah, I know the guy. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's one of the Nintendo guys, isn't it? Well, fair enough then. So Pokemon, you're a big fan of Pokemon.
Yes,
Fair
and
enough then.
actually my name Redkeas, Red is this is because of the character of Pokemon in the first video game. This is for that.
Ah,
And
see,
this is
I'm right. I wonder if anyone in. I
yeah,
wonder if
no,
anyone. I didn't pick up on that because I played Pokemon, but it's not. Again,
yes.
I was about the Sega, but no. I tell you what. Yeah. Is there anything?
But actually,
Mm.
if I want to work with someone in the industry, it would be the director of Larian Studio, so the studio that made Divinity Original Sin and Baldur's Gate 3,
Oh
actually.
wow.
Because
Yeah. Oh
uh,
wow. See, now you're talking my language. Baldur's Gate. I mean, yeah. I on the PC. That was the game that got me. That was the game that got me into PC gaming.
Me
That
too.
Do you know, I'd
Actually, me
love to
too.
stream that, but I think people would just get. I don't know. I should. I don't know if I could stream that one day. I don't know if my audience would like kind of sit there and watch me just zone out reading stuff about swords and stuff. You know.
I'm really a great fan of Baldur's Gate. Actually, I learned English when I was a kid with that because it was in English when I started, and I'm a big fan of Larian Studios, of the Belgian studio that became very famous for Divinity Original Sin, and I
hmm
love that stuff. Again, I'm a RPG player, so
Well, there you are. Maybe your next retro game is going to be like a retro RPG or something. Who knows?
it would be great.
Oh wow. That would be something, and hard to make, but very, very rewarding. I would imagine.
Yes.
Right, that's the time up for the retro radio. Before we move on to something else, so I thank you so much, Redkeas, for coming on. Honestly, I know it takes time out of you guys that do all the art and the development of the games, but it's nice for someone like me to just get that little bit of inside information. I know the people that watch the show like it, and you know, thank you very much. It's been a real privilege. You're a friend of the show now, so that means you've got to come back at some point. So you know whether you
Yeah,
want to or not.
I think we'll come back at some point.
Ah, yeah, that's what we want to hear. I'll tell you what,
We
though,
will.
I think I'll get you guys back when we get closer to the closer to the launch and stuff, and yeah, and we have another chat again. So honestly, thank you very much. This has been fascinating. I've really enjoyed it. Everyone go and check it out. It's obviously too late to get involved in the Kickstarter, but I'll keep tabs on it. I always keep things going. So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Have a nice evening, I suppose. I might have a little quick more of a go on this before I go on to my next thing a bit later on. So thank you very much. I'll say good night then. Unless there's anything else you want to tell us about the game before you go. Anything I haven't asked.
So you can still download the demo if you want to try it out. And when the game will be launched, you will be able to buy it actually.
Oh, like as a ROM?
Yes, you will be able to still buy it after the launch. When the game will be finished, you will be able to buy it.
Oh, brilliant! So there are going to be more copies than just the Kickstarter made.
Yes, we have special copy for the Kickstarter, and after we have normal copy.
I didn't realise that. That's brilliant news. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
Okay then. Well, yeah. I mean, we'll hopefully we can we'll get we'll buy a review copy for the show, and then we'll definitely be doing that, and then we'll get you back. When's it due for release? Sorry, that was the other question I had. When is it supposed to be out?
It will be about because I don't have the release date. We don't say release date. It will be, I think, about the end of 2021 and before 2022.
Wow. So you've only got about another sort of 9-10 months to get it all ready to be shipped. Wow.
Yes. So actually we have to finish the game. That will be pretty easy, but we want sometimes to ship.
Yeah, of
to
course,
make the boxes and ship everything, so everything will be packed and well.
Oh, it's so exciting. I love it when a new Mega Drive game comes out. I just love it when any new retro game comes out. I love it. I love the fact that there's people out there that just still make games for the old consoles. And it means I don't have to buy a PlayStation 5. It's awesome.
And this is everything about a bit about being passionate about retro games and everything.
Well, Redkeas, this has been a lovely interview. This has got to be one of the best interviews we've had. Actually, you're lovely,
thank you.
And and you've got a great game that we're looking forward to. So I'll get a link up to the demo, and I'm sure I'll be catching up with you guys soon as the development unfolds, and have to have you back.
Sure, it was a pleasure.
No, thank you very much. The pleasure was all mine and all ours. Thank you very much. I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you.
All right, bye now. Bye. Right, guys, how fascinating is that? Let me just go back to my screen thing. No, I don't load up a calculator. I don't want that. I want this thing. Where am I? So how good is that? Okay, obviously I wasn't particularly good at the game, but I'm gonna get better at it when I'm not having to talk and think of questions to ask a wonderful guest. That was a great interview. We've had some good interviews on this show, and I think that one's up there. That was great. I felt the passion. I felt the retro passion, and the retro passion continues. I'm gonna have a quick break while I set the rest of the stream up. Now I want you guys to have a think while I'm away for a couple of minutes, just to get things set up. Do we want to plow into Antstream and start having a crack at that, even though we have done that quite a lot recently? Or do we want to see the new shmup on the Switch? Or do we want to see some more of this IRENA? Because I wouldn't mind getting better at it by concentrating on it, because it's tough. It's a tough game. But I also think with the IRENA, because it's a demo, I don't want to play it too much. Do you know what I mean? Because it will spoil it when when the actual game gets released. But you guys have a think about that. We can do the new shmup on the Switch, which I'll play at some point anyway. If we don't do that today, I'll definitely do that tomorrow, because it's great and it's mind-blowing. Or we can do a bit of Antstream, or we can play a bit more of IRENA. But I might zone out because I'm really enjoying it. But you guys have a think. I'll be back in a few moments.